Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. So, I've been thinking about it, and I've been doing this streaming thing a little wrong. So, I have been very much in the mindset that I need to do this like I did my show prior to streaming. That has just been my mindset. And I'm starting to understand that streaming is a different beast. So I'll be making some adjustments to how I do the show, and not in so much of a rush to get through some of the topics. Um and it should be at least a little bit more conversational with those in the chat. I really want to spend time engaging with you. I love hearing from you. I'm enjoying being streaming on Rumble. My goal, my aim is to start streaming longer. So I'm still thinking through exactly how I'm going to do this because my time is limited. I'm going to be real. I work full time. I work 40 hours a week, and I'm a dad, and so I spend a lot of time with my kids. That's something that's very important to me, and that's something that is a non-negotiable for me. So I got to figure out how to make it work in a way where I can maximize my time with my children, my wife, and still do put in the work that it's going to take to give this the time, effort, and energy that it deserves. So my plan tentatively right now is to do my typical 30 to 45-minute stream, put my kiddo to bed, read her story, and pray with her as I normally do, and then hop on another stream around 9 o'clock and do that for 1 to 2 hours, basically until I'm tired, I'm ready to tap out. So I think that's going to be the plan going forward. So the first part of my stream is going to be strictly commentary, what you've grown accustomed to, and the second half of my stream is going to be me gaming in some capacity because that's something I do anyway. So it's just like it doesn't make any sense for me to sure, record yourself while you're playing games. Just stream it. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna spend time doing that. I'm gonna try that out today and see how that works. And I have done a test before, so we'll do it again, and we'll see how this goes. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We got a lot to talk about today. So, speaking of streamers, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with NickMercs. I started following this guy. He was not on my radar until I'll get into this, what put him on my map first, and then we'll talk about the controversy that he now finds himself in for saying something incredibly insensitive. Incredible. Utter blasphemy is what this man said. So we'll talk about that. We'll also be discussing too the new conservative darling that is making the rounds on Twitter, and she is quite foul-mouthed. So we'll talk about that and why conservatives do this. They just latch on to somebody without fully understanding what they're about. And this is one of those cases where I just think we need to pump the brakes a little bit, chill out, and kind of see how things pan out. All right, and we'll conclude this stream by talking a little bit about Star Wars again, because there's more footage coming out of that show, and it is wild. It is wild. Yeah, I'll show you footage today with force-powered lesbian feminist witches. Crazy. And that's in Star Wars. So yeah. So all right, let's get into the story with NickMercs. So for those of you who want to take a walk down memory lane, NickMercs was canceled, and this is kind of the backstory, really quick. So there is this tweet that said, anti-LGBT protesters attack pro-LGBT demonstrators outside of Glendale, California, school board meeting. The school board is voting on recognizing June as Pride Month. All right. So that's a tweet. I remember this actually. I was pretty stoked that these people were actually standing up against the LGBT because they don't want them to groom their children. Seems pretty reasonable. And this is how NickMercs responded. He said, they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And this was the controversy with Nick. He had the audacity to not want to see little children groomed. That's it. That's the controversy. That's what originally landed him in hot water. So much so that he had this operator skin in Call of Duty, and Call of Duty decided that they were going to remove his operator skin. So due to the recent events, we have removed NickMercs operator bundle from Modern Warfare 2 and the Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating Pride with our employees and our community. I was recently talking about giving COD another shot after seeing some of the footage come out about it. But now I'm reminded of just what pathetic cowards these people are, that they would pull Nick's operator bundle for telling groomers to leave children alone. That was the hill that they want to die on, and they want to die on the hill of celebrating being proud of your sexual preferences, which, by the way, is just weird as hell. That's just a weird thing to do in general. So why are they doing it? Why are they doing this? Why are they celebrating degenerates and punishing those who stand against degeneracy? Man. So I just pulled up this stream for this is so annoying, on X, and they're limiting the visibility of my stream because I say the word trannies. So they don't that's a no word. You can't say trannies. You can't post that in X because they want to protect these people's feelings. And I gotta say, like, how does one person talk about their car transmission during stream if this is happening? I gotta fix this because this is annoying me. And this is why Rumble is GOAT. They're the GOAT. They don't ban speech. They let you say whatever you want. So hold on a second. Let me do this. All right. Bam. All right, so that should be fixed. So if you are watching on another platform too, if you do happen to watch on X, maybe don't do that. Maybe watch on Rumble, because Rumble isn't cowards. Rumble actually believes in free speech. They believe in you being able to say what you want, when you want, how you want, and they're not going to reduce your ability to say it. Which, by the way, if you do not have the Rumble app, download the app. What are you waiting for? Once you download it, search for my channel, type up RCAM. I should be the only one that comes up, and follow the channel directly from the app. This will make sure that you get notifications every time we go live, and we go live 4 days a week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And click the link in the description. I put that in there so you can download the Rumble app on your phone. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing. And if you prefer to watch us on the big screen, it's also available for Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, and Samsung TVs. All you need to do is search for Rumble. And they're just doing other great things. The integration of OBS is one of them that I think is awesome. So it's definitely adds to the stream and helps make something of quality. All right. So with that said, let's get back to this Nick's issue. So this was the whole controversy that erupted with NickMercs, and this landed him in hot water. He was canceled by Call of Duty. He angered the LGBTQ plus cults, and it was a real problem for him. And I didn't hear much this past year until recently. So he's been playing through Elden Ring, which, by the way, will probably be the game that I play through. And he made some controversial comments. He said, "There's no such thing as trans people. That isn't even real." So let's play this and let's hear it from him. Let's hear it from the man himself.
Nick, the transphobe struggling against the trans game. There's no such thing as trans people. That's something that you created. So have fun with your little dreamland, but that shit's not even real. Let me break it down for you, right? Penis, dude. Vagina, girl, done. Come in here with that fucking trans.
He's right. He's 100% right. It's really that simple. If you have a penis, you're a boy. If you have a vagina, you're a girl. Very simple. There is and never will be any such thing as a trans person. They do not exist. They don't exist. Now, I know when people say that, they'll say, we're murdering them. You're murdering me. You don't want me. No, you don't want me to exist. No, you don't exist. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people that struggle with gender dysphoria. They're real. There are gender confused people, confused about their gender. But that's an entirely different thing to say that somebody has transcended their gender. No human being on the face of the earth has transcended their gender. It has never happened. It never will happen. It's a complete and total fantasy. And NickMercs is 100% right. It's not real. It will never be real. And the sooner people start waking up to that fact, the sooner people like Nick use their platforms to say what is blatantly obvious, the better off we will all be. So, to a sane person, what Nick said was completely reasonable. Nobody should be really disputing it. But we don't live in a sane world. We live in a place where people have lost all sense of reality. And because of that, you have some unhinged responses. The comments are a little encouraging, though, some of them. Just Posting L says he's not wrong. John Hawkins says he's 100% right. You can wear a dress, take hormones, and mutilate yourself surgically, but you can no more change sexes than you can change into Napoleon or Mars. He's absolutely right. You cannot change it. But here are some of the more unhinged responses. So we have this person, Dejari. She said, "At NickMercs is such a stupid, bigoted C word. Trans people have existed long before he sadly slid out into the world. This is the most effing asinine take ever." You mean basic common sense? Nick making a basic observation about biology? That's asinine to you? I think not. I think that is a very reasonable take that everybody believed in until 5 minutes ago. You go back 10, 15 years, you legitimately tell people that men can be women, they will look at you like you are a psychopath. They will. They see this same take, they'll be like, what? Somebody get Dejari back on her meds because she's seriously deluded right now. But no, this was a perfectly reasonable response. A reasonable take. And her response is unhinged. But I like how Nick responds. He says, "Hey, smarty pants, you seem really smart. Answer this one for me. What is a woman?" Classic. That's a good one because they struggle to answer that question. Even now, too, after Matt Walsh has given them basically the argument to counter, they've had a long time since What is a Woman has come out to think of a legitimate counter to that question. And yet, they fail miserably. Let's look at her response. "No surprise to me that you would take the opportunity to quote another transphobe, Matt Walsh, and act like it's a got him. How very unoriginal. Woman is a gender identity commonly held by adult females, but not limited to. Trans women may also identify as a woman." What the hell does that even mean? Woman is a gender identity commonly held by females, but not limited to. Trans women may also identify as women. So then, what the hell does it even mean to be a woman if a man can identify as one? It doesn't make any sense. She literally contradicts herself right in her statement. God, these people are idiots. All right, moving on though, because that's just one bad take. We have more. Playing Elden Ring while being transphobic is insane. That's like playing Mario and hating Italians. And somebody said, hold on, there's a comment that I want to read. Someone made a comment about Matrix or Marika. So Marika literally transforms from woman to man. So and this guy JFG, which by the way he does gaming and streaming, give him a follow. He's pretty cool. So just because bosses transform into different forms doesn't mean they're trans. Why does everyone do this to own something as their own? Does that make Saiyans furries? It's good. Why is this colonization of character to suit personal needs to feel acknowledged such an addiction? Marquita is literally transforms to a woman. No, she transforms into a demon. I read the backstory about that. A little bit confusing about what her identity really is. But it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the people in Elden Ring transform into grotesque beasts. So they are transforming into literal monsters, which I guess maybe it is. Maybe that is on brand for transgenderism because that's essentially what they do to themselves. They mutilate their bodies and make themselves look like horrific monsters. So, all right, I can see it. That makes sense to me. I'll let them have that one. Yes. You can you can own transforming into hideous beasts. All right, next one. Trans people are killed simply for being trans. So, no, they're not. There's nobody out there saying, "Let me hunt down them there transgender people." That's not happening. Nobody's doing that. Trans people are killed primarily because they engage in risky and dangerous behavior. They're often engaged in prostitution, drugs, and other behavior that's going to lead to potential death. So that is why they are killed. They are not killed specifically because they are trans. That is another emotional manipulation tactic to get us to go along with this insane, unhinged lie. And it has to stop. It has to stop. And we cannot go along with it. And I'm glad people like NickMercs are unwilling to go along with it. So yeah, he goes on to say, and y'all still love and support him. His BS leads to our deaths. No, it doesn't. Stop respecting him. Stop giving him any effing kind of numbers. So I didn't even really watch NickMercs streams. I'm going to now. I have way more respect for him. I respect him every time these people go on their unhinged tirades, because it means that he's actually saying something true. And Pudge says not a real thing. AC writes, trans people are doing school shootings, killing innocent children. Is your helmet on too tight? Yeah, that's true too. Which, by the way, we'll get into this because I want to go into more detail on this story. But the Covenant school shooter from Tennessee, they were they were motivated by, one, Christian hatred, and two, we can suspect that maybe gender affirming care played a role in what they did. So there's a lot to talk about there, but we are seeing more trans school shooters, and it does seem like this whole idea of gender affirming care plays a role in that, and that's definitely something that we need to explore, but I'm not going to have time to cover that in this stream today. There's this other guy. This one I actually think is like the most pathetic. So this is a man saying this too. I think. I don't even know now. Now I question everything. Is it a man? I have no idea. This hurts so effing bad. I love the F out of this man. Literal ride or die supporter. Someone you absolutely love and looked up to, once again tearing down the community you're a part of. Shouldn't have given him the benefit of the doubt the first time. Tier 3 for 38 months and over 350 gifted subs down the drain. Love this man so much that my sub and follower alerts are him. How hard is it to just respect other people's choices and way of life? This at NickMercs. This is heartbreaking. Why should anybody respect something that is fundamentally false? Why? Why should we have to affirm falsehood? Why should we have to respect something that is not worthy of respect? Why should we have to suspend our reality to acquiesce to your delusion? We shouldn't. It's not respectful. If anything, us affirming their gender, us going along with the insanity, is the exact opposite of respect. It's disrespect. And we should have no part in it. And to abandon the support over somebody who you have tremendous respect for because he believes in basic biology is crazy to me. To throw away your support for that. Maybe, here's a thought. Maybe consider that NickMercs might be onto something. You know, the person that you have so much respect for, maybe he's onto something. Maybe he knows something that you don't, and maybe you should heed his wisdom. Follow his lead. See where this rabbit hole goes. Because I don't think it's worth abandoning your support for him altogether because he made the scientifically accurate assessment that men cannot be women and women cannot be men. That you cannot transcend your gender. Yep, he did that. And there's no sense getting all bent out of shape about it. Now, Nick does ultimately do a follow-up video where he talks about this again. So we'll play that real quick and then we'll get in. This is shared by Kick Clips.
People that disagree and people that agree, I don't care about the percentages or the cuts or whatever. It doesn't bother me. You know, I feel a certain way about all that. And I've said my piece, and I will remind these fucking people that, again, the little dream fantasy bullshit that they're living in is not real life, and not everybody has to dance to their tune. That's not how that works. You don't get to go around and point your finger in people's chests and say, hey, you live in my world. You think the way that I think. You believe the way that I believe. No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. It never has been, and it never will be. So if you guys want to live like that, go ahead. Do what you want to do. Not me. And I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need no echo chamber bullshit. This is the way that my wife and I feel. This is the way that my family feels, the people that are closest to me. And we're going to speak our fucking piece. And that's it. And it might be a thing that goes around, you know, like, look, it's June. I get it, man. Everybody's like, woo. I mean, I don't fucking care. People that disagree.
Yeah. So he makes this correct take where, hold on one second. That was my daughter. All right. So, yeah, he made the correct take, and he doesn't want to suspend reality to make these people comfortable. You know, he acknowledges that it's a fantasy. It's not real life, and we don't have to fundamentally change reality to accommodate these people. We don't. And I think, you know, him having the courage to say what he just said is just more of a sign that the tides are turning. And if you saw the chat, overwhelming support for what he was saying. Overwhelming support. Because people are done with it. They're just done. They're done. They don't want this. They're tired of Pride Month. They don't want it. And I'm going to show you the exact mindset that we should have when it comes to Pride Month. So this kid shows us what it really means to celebrate Pride. So this is shared by Lord Babo. Boy shows how to celebrate Pride. You go, boy. This is one of the most moving videos I've ever seen. Let's play it again. little based Chad right there, man. Brings a tear to my eye. That's the mentality that we have. Get the hell out of here with that crap. Stomp on it. That's awesome. The kids are going to be all right. They're going to be all right. This faith in humanity restored. And I do wonder what middle schoolers, how they really react to this. Because, like, I remember being in middle school. Middle schoolers are savages. I mean, absolute savages. So I could just imagine the stuff that they say about this. And how uncool, by the way, if you're a teacher and you're pushing this on kids, there are probably a large swath of kids that are just like mocking you behind your back immediately. That's what they're doing. Because they realize how crazy this is. So, yeah, I thought that I thought that was great. Definitely restored my faith in the youth, and I think that was awesome. All right, we're gonna do an ad because I'm trying to get in the habit of doing these things. So here we go. It's time to say goodbye to Starbucks coffee because anyway, Starbucks coffee is woke and gay, and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. Unlike other brands of coffee, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com. Use promo code Studio40 to get 40% off any coffee subscription. The coffee comes in medium and dark roast. It also comes in pea berry, which is similar to Kona coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium. Now, I have not tried the coffee yet. All right, I am going to order the coffee tomorrow. I'm going to use my boy Taylor Dude's little link in his bio to buy the coffee to see what this stuff tastes like. I'm quite sure it's probably a good product, and even if it was subpar coffee, it's still worth supporting Rumble by buying the coffee because they really are fighting for free speech, and I'm happy to support them in any way that I can. I'm probably not going to get any ad revenue on this because I don't get enough live viewers for it, but that doesn't matter to me because I want to direct people to them. I want to support them because I believe in this company. I really do. I have stock in this company too. That's how much I believe in them. So I'm Team Rumble all the way, and we'll do anything I can to support free speech. And I love coffee. It's my favorite. And I'm out of coffee too, so I definitely need to order some. All right. Next story. All right. So conservatives do this thing where when someone starts going viral, they immediately kind of prop them up without really waiting to kind of see what they're really about. And the example that I'm going to show you is another such case, but we're going to play the video first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it so that we have a little bit of context to this. So this girl, I believe her name is Allie. She's making the rounds. Conservatives are fawning over her. And I wonder, too, if it's because of what she says or just because she's an attractive woman. We'll see.
So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people and you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world, of fucking nerds. Those fucking dorks that never got laid in high school, and they've got a major chip on their
So just quick, if you're following, she's making fun of dorky guys that didn't have sex in high school. Well, so you're mocking them for not being sexual degenerates? So that's a problem? That's a bad thing? Are we going to look at virginity like the bad thing? Also, like the people that, built the iPhone that you're using and the social media platforms that you're posting on. Also not all, big tech billionaires are evil, bad people. I would be shocked if Anthony Fauci was reading anime. Probably not the case. A lot of anime people are really cool, actually. Some of the best people I know are read anime. Not a big deal. Kind of a weird thing to come down on. But anyway, I'll let her finish.
Shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat ass fucks making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing clown world. They're the ones in media. They're the actors. You wonder why actors are so politically leftist? Oh, right. It's because they're loser theater kids. They're the theater kids who grew up, and now they're telling me and you what to think. They're telling me and you what to do, and they're making the laws in this country. Well, it's time to stand the fuck up and stop being scared. Like, why are we scared of these people? They were massive losers in high school, and they're massive losers today. It's time to put the motherfucking nerds back in their place, stand the fuck up, and speak.
She has a little bit of a point with the theater kids. Some of them are weird, not all of them, but they're not the problem. All right, the problem is leftism. It's an ideology. It's an ideology that is largely held by people in Hollywood, and unfortunately, most people in charge of big tech do have that ideology. But those that don't, like Chris, the CEO of Rumble, and Elon Musk, are giving us the avenues to fight back against these people. And by the way, Musk is a super nerd, a dork, gamer, but he's a CEO and he used his platform to give us the right to say what we want. And she's able to post this nonsense on his platform. And I don't see her complaining about that. She also did this video. It's longer. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just to kind of give you a more well-rounded idea of her personality.
Gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass niggas. Gold digger.
So she's getting dragged for saying that and to be honest, that's actually the least concerning thing that she says. She just, foul-mouthed, cursing. In some of her videos, she's dressed in a bikini. And this is the woman that we are holding up as our new conservative spokeswoman. She's the new conservative darling. And I think, no, this is not conservatism. Making racial slurs and I guess mocking anime nerds and dressing in bikinis, not conservative. Just not conservative, so it's like, libertarian, if she came out as a libertarian, I don't think I would care. It'd be, all right, fine. That seems pretty on brand for a libertarian. But stop claiming being a conservative. This is like conservative light. This is this weird faction of the right wing that I just don't quite understand. To be conservative means you have to be rooted in tradition, and the tradition to our country is biblical values, and part of those biblical values is to have wholesome speech. By the way, just so that we're clear, do we really find being foul-mouthed attractive? Because I don't. It makes a woman less attractive when she is talking like a dude. It's not attractive, and I think Chase Sovereign Bra summed this up pretty well. The right-wing e-girl playbook: be pretty, so she checks that box. Slightly racist, checks that box. Say some mildly based things, Realize you can leverage this to grow a massive following of horny simps. Yeah. Most of these people are following her because she's beautiful, and use influence to grift, start drama, poison the discourse, counter signal actually base right-wing talking points that can move the needle, especially regarding the 19th Amendment, feminism, the woman question, politics, sexual promiscuity in modern culture, etc. If you see the distant right for more than 5 seconds, you've already seen the cycle play out 1,000 times. Learn the lessons, you horny chuds. Yeah, I think that's a good call out by Chase. Like we got, I don't use the word simp a lot, but I guess I've been using it a little bit more. I've been formerly against simp, but I'm adjusting it after seeing simpery just on levels I've never seen before. So my eyes are being opened. That doesn't mean I'm red pill though. It just means I'm witnessing men being pathetic and idolizing women, which is a biblical take, unfortunately. The Bible talks about men who give women more power than they ought to. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the social media space that are doing just that. All right. Last story. This was shared by Nerdrotic, and so they share this clip of. It feels like this should be parody, but it's not. They share this clip from the new Star Wars Acolyte show. I'm just gonna play it for you.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
So that had very similar vibes to this video. They literally made this into a scene. And for those of you that were unclear about what's happening here, apparently this is a coven of Jedi witches that are doing this ritual to use the Force to impregnate, for two lesbians to impregnate or another lesbian. So all these women are coming together to use the Force to get this woman pregnant with twins. What? What is this? And then they wonder why Star Wars is dead. They wonder why nobody's watching it. If you showed me this clip without context, I wouldn't have been able to tell that it was a Star Wars movie, by the way, or show. I wouldn't have been able to tell. I thought it was just, some strange movie that had nothing to do with Star Wars. So that's weird. But the fact that it is Star Wars just makes it worse. And there's this article by Forbes, and I want to read a little bit of it. The Acolyte Episode 3 review, one of the most disappointing Star Wars episodes ever made. This is from Forbes, too. So they're usually a little bit biased. The third episode of Disney, The Acolyte, is an embarrassment to the entire franchise. Though the same could be said for so much Star Wars these days outside of Andor and the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. I agree. I haven't watched Andor. I stopped watching Star Wars again after The Mandalorian Season 2. After Gina Carano got the axe, I was done. So here's one exchange between 2 characters in the latest episode. May, the Jedi are bad. Osha, the Jedi are good. By the way, they're totally rewriting what it means to be a Jedi. And these women are demonstrating some real Sith energy, in my opinion. Later, the same 2 characters, the twin the protagonists, antagonists of the story, as what the hell just happened? What happened to my story? All right, here we go. I hate ads so much. Okay. All right. Later, the same 2 characters, the twin protagonists, antagonists of the story, as children in the flashback episode, say to one another, "What have you done? What have you done? What have you done?" I want to ask Disney the same question. What have you done? The entire episode is a bad joke. We learn that May and Osha lived with their mothers in a society, so lesbian mothers, in a society of witches, all whom are female, and it appears they were conceived using the Force or something. Force-using witches are also apparently frowned upon in this galaxy. They called the Force the thread. I'm getting dark side vibes here. Though I'm also getting the sense that this show will try to be all edgy and make the Jedi out to be the bad guys, which we've seen play out half a dozen times. Yeah. And this is more of them just deconstructing everything that we hold as good, destroying our images that we grew up with in childhood. And really, it's honestly an attack on men, too. By the way, they're destroying our heroes. Oh, sorry about that. And destroying our idea of that the good guys were actually good, and you grew up as a kid, watching Star Wars, and you loved the Jedi. You thought they were awesome seeing them on screen. They were heroes, Luke Skywalker, a hero, Obi-Wan, a hero. These people were viewed as heroes, and now they're trying to rewrite Star Wars to make Jedi out to be like they're a bad guy, and they're going to make them the oppressors, as we talked about in a previous episode. And it's just wild and just on brand at this point for Disney to destroy the things that people love. And somebody asked, is Star Wars dead? It's been dead, guys. It's dead. But what they're doing now, they're not killing it because it's already dead. This is them dancing on the grave of Star Wars, dancing on the grave and giving the middle finger to any remaining fans that are holding on to hope. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with this show. That's what they're doing with all new Star Wars content. They are mocking you. And you should not watch their show another second. All right. That's going to do it for me tonight. I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to try to go live again in probably 15-20 minutes, and hopefully I'll see you there. But if not, I hope you guys have a blessed night, and deuces.